Wednesday night at the United Center had that feeling, the kind of game that reminds you exactly why hockey is the greatest sport on the planet. The pace, the energy, the skill, it was madness in the best way. Two young, fearless teams trading blows for over 60 minutes, neither willing to blink first. And when it was all said and done, it was Simon Nemec who stole the spotlight, completing his first career hat-trick in overtime and carrying the Devils to a 4-3 win. Fresh off a 6-game road trip, Chicago came home to the UC and still managed to grab a hard-earned point against one of the East's elite, and they did it short of a couple key pieces. Frankie Nazar and Andrei Burakovsky were both out nursing injuries, yet somehow the effort never wavered. The first period belonged to Connor Bedard and Spencer Knight, and the Hawks fed off the energy those two were giving them. With just under 2 minutes left in the opening frame, Bedard ripped home a one-timer off a perfect feed from Teravainen, pulling Markstrom out of his net like a fish out of water. Bedard's point streak now up to 10 games. During the intermission, the TNT crew took a moment to highlight how much Bedard's game is elevated, and he got the ultimate stamp of approval from the Great One himself. Wayne Gretzky said, "Bedard is earning his way onto Team Canada." And honestly, who can argue with that now? The Hawks kept getting unbelievable goaltending from Spencer Knight, who turned aside breakaway after breakaway and continued to show why he's becoming one of the best young goalies in the league. However, as the second period started to wind down, the Devils finally broke through. Simon Nemec slipped a backhander past Knight on a play I'm sure the Hawks goalie would love to have back. But considering how good he was all night, you can easily forgive him for that one. Then, in the third period, the floodgates opened. Landon Slaggert made it 2-1, but the Devils punched right back. Moments later, Sam Lafferty took matters into his own hands, literally, undressing Luke Hughes and burying his first of the year to make it 3-2 Hawks. But that man, Simon Nemec, he wasn't done yet. He jumped up into the play and buried home his second of the night to silence the crowd once more. Tree after tree. Overtime had everything. Star power, speed, and chaos. Both teams traded chances, and the story really wrote itself. Jacob Markstrom, of all people, caught the Hawks in the middle of a change, saw Nemec jump into the play, and hit him with a perfect stretch pass. One touch, top shelf, hat trick. Game over. Let's be honest. Last year's team doesn't hang around in a game like this. That one probably ends midway through the second, long before overtime even becomes a thought. The Hawks showed a lot of heart. They battled, they pushed back. Sure, 2 points were on the table, but grabbing one against a contender like New Jersey while missing key pieces, that's still something to build on. Nights like this show progress even when the scoreboard doesn't quite tilt your way. I'm starting to feel like a broken record talking about how much better this Hawks team looks compared to the last few years. But game after game, they keep proving it. The improvement is real, it's noticeable. I'm proud of them. Landon Slaggert's been the odd man out lately, bouncing up and down from the AHL, but with Burakovsky sidelined, he got his shot and made the most of it. Early in the third, he delivered his best moment of the season, crashing the net and getting a perfect redirect on Louis Crevier's point shot to give Chicago the lead. Slaggert's probably only sticking around while Burakovsky and Dickinson are out. Still, this is exactly what you want to see. A young guy taking advantage of his opportunity. And I get it, everyone would rather see Nick Lardis get called up. But Lardis isn't a stopgap. Patience is key. When his time comes, it'll be for good. The big man, Louis Crevier, continues to quietly put together a really solid season. He picked up 2 helpers Wednesday and spent a lot of time alongside Alex Vlasic, forming the Twin Towers on Chicago's blue line. The Hawks have been running with 7 defensemen for much of the year, and nights like this show why it's effective. It gives them flexibility, rewarding guys who are playing well, dialing back minutes when needed. Crevier made the most of it, chipping in with 2 helpers in the third, adding a couple of hits, and forcing turnovers with that long reach. Sure, he may have been on the ice for all 3 goals against in regulation, but his impact went beyond the stat sheet. He's showing growth, confidence, and a steady presence that the coaching staff can trust more and more each night. With 3 regulars out of the lineup, Oliver Moore found himself bumped up to the top line alongside Connor Bedard and Tyler Bertuzzi, and he absolutely looked the part, causing turnovers, starting chances the other way. In the second, he used his speed to thread a beautiful pass to Bertuzzi for a breakaway chance that just couldn't beat Markstrom. What really stood out though was how much trust Jeff Blashill already has in him, giving Moore a chance to start overtime alongside Bedard. That says a lot about how quickly he's earning confidence. Sure, there were a few moments of hesitation that cost the Hawks some looks offensively, but it's all part of the learning curve. He finished with 2 shot attempts, a pair of takeaways, a blocked shot, and yes, was on the ice for 2 goals against, but overall, another step forward for one of Chicago's most exciting young forwards. At the end of the day, this was a game New Jersey deserved to win. However, the Blackhawks made sure it didn't come easy. They hung around, battled hard, and were just 4 minutes shy of pulling off a huge upset. Like I've said in past recaps, good teams find a way to stay competitive even when they've been outplayed. And that's exactly what Chicago did tonight. There were moments to be proud of, plays to build on, and glimpses of the team's potential. Now it's time to reset and get ready for Saturday's showdown with the Leafs. Go Hawks! Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Blackhawks content all year long.